Hey, it's Rachel. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, today we are reviewing our first book club pick of the year, which was Influencer by Cesare. I still don't know if I'm pronouncing his name right. He is the author of the Clown in a Cornfield series, which I still have not read. I definitely want to. Let me know if that's a series that you think that I should read. Let me know if you want me to start the where is it? Doesn't matter. The Harry Potter series on my channel, if that is something that you guys are interested in, because I would like to do that sooner rather than later, I think. So let me know if that's something that you're interested in. But staying on task here. This was requested by one of my book club members, Kristen. Kristen? Yeah. It's so funny because I just like see her name. You know when you just like see someone's name but you maybe like don't like actually remember it, you just like know their name from online. Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so Influencer. This is YA. Judging, if you were just to judge by the first chapter though, oh my gosh, the first chapter was brutal. It was so gruesome and intense. There is actually a content warning at the beginning. Please note this novel contains themes of graphic violence, sexual assault, animal death, and drug addiction. Reader discretion is advised. I don't know what it is about me and animal deaths in books. I don't remember the animal cruelty, animal death in this book. Why don't I remember? Oh, no, yeah, never mind. Yes, I do. Okay. I'm one of those people where like human death affects me more than animal death, and most people are like the other way around. Some people won't even read a book if there's like even the talk of an animal death. So, but it definitely does have all of these things mentioned in it. And then at the end of the book, Adam puts, if you or someone you know is struggling with bullying, abuse, self-harm, or emotional distress, call Tess, blah, blah, blah. Not blah, 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 but it has the suicide and crisis lifeline, which I can put down below as well. Because this is one thing, this is a kind of, not a trigger for me. It's not like I won't read a book, but I can read horror books all day long, like chopping people's heads off. I can read really like horrifying stuff, but I have such a hard time reading about just horrible people that are out like ruining people's lives and like bullying and ruining their like reputation and things like that. Think of a book of like The Last Mrs. Parrish, things like that. When you're ruining someone's life like that, like, oh, that just, when you're just such an awful, ugly human being. Like, I have such a hard time reading about people like that can just be so cruel to other human beings, and they just do not care. Like, they get off on that. And this was a lot like that. So influencer, our influencer is Adam Fortin, and he is new in town, and he is basically leading a double life. He has an online presence as the speaker, and the speaker wears a mask, some sort of mask, so you could only see his eyes and his hair, I think. And he makes these videos and has this cult following, and it is very cult-like. And at the end of his videos, he has this poem that people try to like decipher and figure out, and he's very secretive. No one knows who he is. And yeah, he basically, it's like this little cult. And it was very much giving me like Andrew Tate vibes because of the violence that he violence towards women and just violence in general that he was what's the word I'm trying to think of? I'm sorry, I'm really bad with I have a bad, like, my brain doesn't work very well. The violence that he was basically telling his audience to do. That's not the word I'm trying to think of. I hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to say. So he moves to a new town. I'm not going to give away the spoiler of the first chapter. The first chapter is really intense, and I was like, whoa, I'm in for a ride. Like, I am in for it. Well, not really. The first chapter was very graphic and gruesome, and I thought the whole book was going to be pretty much like that, and it wasn't. The rest of the book I thought was quite dull and a little repetitive and not that interesting. So it kind of goes back and forth between Adam and then our other character, Crystal, who carpools with her friends. I say that loosely because she acts like these people are her friends, but they really aren't. Like, they don't really like her. Her best friend, Gail, she never really talks to or hangs out with anymore. Gail's very standoffish. She's like kind of the goth kid. And then there's Harmony, who Gail is in love with, but Harmony does not know, and Gail obviously does not tell her. Or Crystal, I'm sorry, Crystal. Crystal's in love with Gail. And Crystal is in love with Harmony. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so sorry. And then there's Trevor and Paul. And Trevor and Paul used to date. They don't anymore. Paul is like out. Trevor is closeted. No one knows that he is gay other than his close friends that he carpools with. Because he's in a very strict... his parents are... they're from another country. English is their second language. I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I can't remember where he's from. So anyway, she carpools with them. Yeah, Paul, Harmony, and Gail. Crystal is part of their misfit group, but most of the time she feels like she's the only one who doesn't fit. She very much just talks about how she's such an outsider, and she kind of has a secret. She makes YouTube videos, but she keeps them private. She never has posted any of her videos, and sometimes it's just like, hey guys, so today I did this, blah, 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 blah. Well, other times it's like, the title is like, I think my best friend is being abused by her stepdad, or I'm in love with my friend Harmony, or something like that. And she's been making these videos for like years. So some of this stuff is from, 2 years ago, and obviously she doesn't feel this way, or she made a video about how her friend Trevor was gay or something. All of those videos are privatized, so no one has ever seen them. She just makes them for herself because she has very low self-esteem. She doesn't think that she's good on camera, so she never makes them public. Obviously, she wouldn't. They're just kind of her like personal diary. Well, Aaron shows up at their school. They see that the speaker has also moved, which like excites them. They thought that was really cool. There's going to be spoilers, you guys. I'm so sorry. So I don't think any of that was spoilers. That's all just like on the back of the book. Now I'm getting into spoilers. So here we go. Aaron comes to school. Their school. But they just know him as Aaron. And somehow Crystal figures out who he is. She doesn't really follow the speaker. Paul and Harmony follow the speaker and like are his loyal followers. Very loyal, like a cult. Gail doesn't really follow him that much either. They're kind of getting wrapped up in everything that he's saying. Well, Crystal figures out who he is and flat out says, I know who you are. You're the speaker. Andrew's like, oh crap. Like, how did this girl figure out who I am? I don't even think this is really a spoiler. Basically, after that, Aaron, who's Andrew? Aaron has it out for the group, and each one is part of his plan. Paul and Harmony are loyal to him already, so it is those two he knows he can count on to be his like right-hand man. They're gonna be in on his schemes. And I don't really, this is where it's kind of like murky for me. For one, he overtook them so easily, like got them to do things for him so easily. I'm just like, I'm not really sure I buy that. Two, he had it out for one of his teachers because his teacher kind of put him in his place. And then that's who they decided that they were going to torture or hurt, or I'm not going to give spoilers on that. And I'm just like, okay, like, what was the point of that? Like, that was really enough for you to choose her? I didn't really understand that. He just seemed so, like, he was like the wannabe baby version of like a Patrick Bateman, like the wannabe baby version of like a serial killer, or like a, you know what I mean, of like a psycho person. He, like, a try hard. He was really trying, like, he tried, and I mean, he did do really bad things. I won't give spoilers on that. He did accomplish things, but it was just like he made too many mistakes along the way. And at the end of the day, he's like a high schooler. So I don't know. Just didn't seem, it seemed a little too far fetched for me. I just, I don't know. What I will say though is the social media aspect of it, the cult like following, and taking in everything that this person says online, and being so like following their every move. Like, where have we seen that? I'm not gonna say anything, but you guys know what I'm thinking. Just believing everything that they say. And what was his whole thing? His whole thing was, don't just speak, act. That was the speaker's thing. Don't just speak, act. And he got people to do all of these horrible things. On prom night was the whole thing. He was going to make these people do these things at their prom. That was kind of like, it was kind of like that. What's that thing, the guy, excuse me, Heaven's Gate or whatever, the guy that made all those people kill themselves. It's kind of like, it kind of reminded me of something like that, when you're making a large group has put so much faith into you, they'll do anything that you say. It reminded me of something like that. It's a cult, obviously. It's like a cult like following, and just the amount of bullying and horrible things that can come through social media. And there was other things that happened through social media, and the way that Erin was able to like hack Crystal's YouTube and make all of her videos public. And I guess that did push Paul and Harmony a little further into like psychosis, and more towards Erin, into doing all these foul things that he wanted to do for them. He also made them both fall in love with him. They were kind of like in a throuple, which was kind of interesting. So yeah, it was like far-fetched, but also when you're in a cult, when you like have so much, I don't know, when you just have so much belief in someone like that, I guess it's not that far-fetched. I've never been in a cult before, but I guess it is kind of like that. So it was interesting. I still think it's a little far-fetched to think that like a high schooler was doing all of this. Everyone's parents were just very conveniently always like gone, and you know, like stuff like that. It was just kind of like, okay. But I don't know. It just kind of dragged on a little too much. Parts of it were a little far-fetched, but I still liked the concept of it. I think his writing was really good. Is Clown in a Cornfield YA too? I feel like maybe it is. Does he just do YA? I don't know. YA can be hit or miss for sure. And I guess I had to realize that too, that this is YA. So, you know, it's going to be a little bit watered down. But that first chapter wasn't. My God, that first chapter was insane. And it does get a little intense. For a YA, I felt like this was pretty, I don't know, pretty graphic, but at parts. And yeah, there was a lot of bullying, self-harm, definitely drug talk, animal killing. Like, definitely was some hard-hitting stuff in here. I just didn't love everything about it. I guess this was a famous, like a popular Audible drama. So if you are not interested in reading the book, but you want to listen to it, I guess it's a really good Audible audiobook. So check that out. I've heard it is really good. So yeah, Crystal is basically trying to help her friends out from under like his spell. It's almost like they put a spell on his friends, on her friends. And she is trying to do everything that she can, even though they're like not really her friend. Like they're not really your friends. They're so awful to her pretty much. I don't know. That was kind of like, girl, why are you trying so hard? They don't even like you, but whatever. She was a good friend. Anyway, it was good. It was a good book. Not my favorite, but I'm glad I read it. Yeah, I gave it 3 out of 5 stars, maybe 3.5. I don't know. I think it could have been condensed a little, or I don't know, something. I feel like it was just missing something, but I don't know. I just feel like maybe it wasn't conveyed enough how like Paul and Harmony were so obsessed with him to begin with. I feel like that needed to be like spoken about more, because they just got so obsessed with him so fast and were willing to do a lot for him in like such a short amount of time. Like this all happened in such a short amount of time. Like if you're willing to hurt other people for someone, like you really have to put a lot of trust and faith in that person. And I don't know, like for me, if you tell me to like go kill someone, ma'am, like I'm not doing that for you. You really have to be brainwashed to be acting a fool like that. So I don't know. Maybe he was just that persuasive, but I'm just like, you're like an 18-year-old, but maybe he really was just psychotic. I don't know. It was just a little far-fetched for me. So there you go. I don't think that was too spoilery. I'm sorry if it was. I really don't think it was, though. I don't think it was. I don't think I gave hardly anything away. So I think we're good. So if you like a mystery, not a mystery, this is a thriller and I guess horror, YA books, I would still check this out for sure. Influencer by Adam Cesare. I think it's a good book. And this was our first book club pick of 2025. Next month we will be reading Book Lovers by Emily Henry. I think I've decided. I'm really excited to read something happy and not murdery. So that'll be fun. If you'd like to read along, you can follow along on the Fable app. That is where my book club is, at the TBR and DNF book club. You can join or just follow along or take a look, see what it's all about. No pressure at all. And usually we read horror or thriller, but I try to mix it up. I think March we're either going to read Fairy Tale by Stephen King or The Winter People. And then I think this summer I want to read The Great Gatsby, because I've never read that and I feel like that's like a summer book. And it's a short one and I like to throw in some classics here and there. So yeah, if you'd like to follow along, I will leave a link below for that as well, along with my Instagram and my eBay shop. I always leave those links down below as well. If you've read Influencer, let me know if you liked it. What did you think? Did you think that it was like plausible, or did you think it was a little far-fetched? What did you think about the graphicness of that first chapter? Hey. Yeah, let me know down below. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you are not subscribed, please do so. Join our little YouTube community, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.